One of the first sculptures that Harvard ever acquired is one of the objects that adorns the philosophy chamber. Benjamin Franklin is one of the main agents in London helping gather collections for Harvard. Sort of out of the blue, he also sends a bust, a sculpture of William Pitt, and we found it in a dean's office here at Harvard.
It wasn't in very good condition. It was covered with many coats of rather disfiguring, non-original paint that were filling all of the details and really obscuring the original surface. When we got it to the lab, we take a teeny tiny chip, what we call a cross-section, and that way we can characterize what these layers are, and also, was there an original paint layer? In this case, we could see that the very first layer of paint was white. The fact that there was not a layer of dirt under that layer of white paint led us to believe that it had been painted white almost immediately after being produced, and then the white overpaint layers began on top of that. Hundreds of years ago here, and there was probably coal-fired heating in most of the buildings, very sooty. The people at the time got in the habit of repainting it probably every time it started looking a little grubby. I began testing various solvents and solvent gels, and because of the difference in the composition for the original water-based paint and the subsequent layers of overpaint, I could use a solvent-based system to remove the overpaints, and it very conveniently stopped its activity right when it encountered the original water-based paint. At each step of the treatment, we're pausing to reassess what's possible to do safely for the object and how do we feel about the way it looks at this stage. If conservators or restorers restore every single last paint loss, it can really kill an object. It can just deactivate it. This is a 250-year-old plus object, and it's gone through the vicissitudes of time, and I think that the surface and its character should represent that. So we leave the surface with a little bit of that patina and history and character.